Nobody cares how hard your life is. Nobody cares about your struggles. Nobody is coming to save you. And that should fire you up, because the moment you realize that nobody owes you anything, you take back your power. You stop waiting. You stop making excuses. You stop looking for validation, and you start putting in the work. Success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who grind when no one is watching. So let me ask you, are you going to sit there hoping someone will finally care, or are you going to rise up, push forward, and dominate? One of the most life-changing realizations is understanding that nobody is truly focused on you. And before you let that bring you down, listen to me, this is the best news you could ever hear. Because that means you don't have to waste your life pleasing people, proving yourself, or waiting for approval. Everyone is the main character of their own story. They have their own struggles, their own fears, their own battles. And that means you are free to go after your goals, free to define your success, free to build a life on your terms. But with that freedom comes a massive responsibility. If nobody else is going to care about your success, then it's 100% on you. So let's get real about what it actually takes to win. It's time to stop complaining, wishing, and waiting. It's time to take massive action, because the world doesn't care about excuses. It only rewards results. Now let's break this down and get to work. Nobody cares about your problems. Own your life. Nobody cares about your problems. That might sound harsh, but it's the truth. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you can move forward. Too many people walk around expecting sympathy, waiting for someone to recognize their pain, their struggles, their setbacks. But life doesn't work that way. People have their own problems, their own struggles, their own chaos to deal with. Nobody is sitting there thinking about how unfair life has been to you. The moment you realize this, you wake up. Because here's the reality. Dwelling on your problems doesn't change them. Complaining doesn't move the needle. Talking about how hard things are doesn't make them easier. What changes things? Action, ownership, responsibility. When you start to own your life, everything shifts. See, most people think their problems are unique. They think nobody else understands what they're going through. But the truth is, everyone has battles. Everyone has faced rejection. Everyone has struggled. The difference is how people respond to it. Some people use their struggles as fuel, while others use them as an excuse. Look at the most successful people in the world. Do you think they didn't have problems? Do you think they didn't face rejection, failure, disappointment? The difference is, they didn't wait for someone to feel sorry for them. They didn't expect the world to care. They understood that success is not about what happens to you, it's about what you do about it. The problem is, most people love their excuses more than they love their potential. They would rather talk about why they can't than figure out how they can. They get addicted to the idea that their problems are special, that they are somehow uniquely cursed. But that mindset is exactly what keeps them stuck. If you want to change your life, you have to kill that mentality. You have to stop waiting for someone to come and fix things for you. Nobody is coming. There is no rescue mission. There is no magic moment where everything clicks into place. You either take control or you stay stuck, period. The first step to owning your life is to stop blaming anything outside of yourself. Your past, can't change it. Your parents, they did the best they could, or maybe they didn't, but either way, it's on you now. The economy, the government, the system, none of that is stopping you as much as your own excuses are. You can either be the person who talks about how unfair life is, or you can be the person who does something about it. Taking ownership means accepting full responsibility for where you are right now. Not just for the good, but for the bad, for the mistakes, for the failures, for the setbacks. Because the moment you take responsibility, you take back control. If it's someone else's fault, you're powerless. If it's on you, then you have the power to change it. Most people don't want to hear this. They want to believe there's some external reason why they're stuck. But the truth is, it's always an internal problem. It's the mindset, the habits, the lack of action. You don't need more luck, more resources, or more support. You need to step up. You need to decide that no matter what happens, you are going to figure it out. Excuses are easy. Ownership is hard. But ownership is also freedom. Because when you own everything, the successes, the failures, the wins, the losses, you become unstoppable. You stop waiting and you start creating. That's where real power comes from. The world owes you nothing. Take responsibility. Too many people walk around acting like life owes them something, like the world should just hand them success, happiness, and fulfillment because they want it. But life doesn't work that way. The world doesn't care about what you think you deserve. The only thing that matters is what you go out and create for yourself. Entitlement is a disease. It keeps people stuck because it convinces them that their lack of success is someone else's fault. It's the government's fault. It's their boss's fault. It's society's fault. But the moment you believe that, you give up all your power. Because if your circumstances are someone else's responsibility, then you're helpless to change them. Here's the truth. Nobody is coming to hand you the life you want. Nobody is going to show up and fix things for you. You either take responsibility for your results or you stay exactly where you are. The problem is most people would rather blame than build. Blaming is easy. It lets you off the hook. It gives you a reason to stay comfortable, to avoid taking action. Because if it's not your fault, then you don't have to change, right? But that's a lie. Taking responsibility is not about blame. It's about power. It's about looking at your life and realizing that no matter what happened in the past, no matter how unfair things have been, you are in control of what happens next. There are people who were born into worse situations than you with fewer resources, fewer opportunities, more obstacles, and they made it happen. So what's your excuse? The world doesn't care about what happened to you. It doesn't care about the challenges you face. It only responds to action. If you work harder, smarter, and more consistently than everyone else, you win. If you don't, you lose. It's that simple. The truth is, life is unfair. Some people have a head start. Some people have advantages. Some people are born into wealth, while others have to scrape their way up from nothing. That's reality, but complaining about it doesn't change it. The only thing that changes your reality is your response to it. Taking responsibility means refusing to let anything outside of you control your destiny. It means waking up every day and deciding that no matter what, you're going to find a way. It means getting rid of the victim mentality and replacing it with a warrior mindset. When you take full responsibility for your life, everything changes. You stop waiting. You stop hoping someone will come and fix things for you. You stop expecting life to be fair. And instead, you get to work. Because at the end of the day, the world doesn't owe you success. You have to go out and earn it. Freedom comes when you stop seeking validation. Most people live their entire lives trapped, not in a prison made of walls, but in a prison made of opinions. They spend every waking moment worried about what others think, terrified of being judged, desperate for approval. And that is the very thing keeping them stuck. Because as long as you need validation, you are controlled by it. Think about how many decisions people make based on what others will think. They pick careers they don't love because it looks good. They stay in relationships that drain them because they're afraid of how it will look if they leave. They hide their true selves because they don't want to be criticized. They are so focused on external approval that they never stop to ask themselves what they actually want. This is the greatest trap of all. The moment your happiness, confidence, and self-worth depend on someone else's opinion, you've lost, because people's opinions will always change. One day they love you, the next day they don't. One moment they support you, the next they turn on you. If your sense of worth is tied to that, you will never be free. True freedom comes when you stop seeking validation and start living for yourself. It means doing what you know is right, even when people disagree. It means chasing your dreams, even when others doubt you. It means having the courage to be yourself fully and unapologetically without worrying about who approves. Look at the people who make the biggest impact in the world. They aren't the ones who played it safe. They aren't the ones who tried to make everyone happy. They are the ones who broke the rules, who challenged the status quo, who risked being misunderstood, judged, and ridiculed. But most people are too afraid. They fear criticism, they fear rejection, they fear standing out too much because then they'll become a target. So they shrink, they conform, they do what's expected, and in doing so, they give up their dreams, their power, their true potential. The people you're trying to impress, they don't care as much as you think. Everyone is too busy worrying about themselves to obsess over your every move. The criticism you fear, it will come no matter what you do. Play small, people will judge you. Go big, people will judge you. Stay the same, people will still judge you. So if you're going to be judged either way, why not be judged for doing something extraordinary? The moment you stop caring about external approval, you become dangerous. You become unstoppable. Because now your actions are no longer dictated by fear, You're not waiting for permission. You're not hesitating because of what they might say. You move forward relentlessly, guided by your own vision, your own purpose, your own inner fire. This is where confidence is built, not from people clapping for you, but from you clapping for yourself, from knowing who you are and standing firm in that no matter what the world throws at you, from being so deeply rooted in your own mission that no amount of doubt, criticism, or negativity you can live your whole life trying to be liked, and still not everyone will like you. Or you can live your life being yourself and let the right people find you, the ones who respect you for who you truly are, the ones who support your vision, not because it's popular, but because it's real. Stop waiting for approval. Stop needing validation. The only person who needs to believe in you is you. Winners demand more from themselves than anyone else does. There is a simple reason why some people win and others don't. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not circumstances. It's standards. Winners hold themselves to a higher standard than anyone else ever could. They don't wait for someone to push them. They push themselves. They don't need a boss, a coach, or an external force to demand more from them because they already demand more from themselves. Look at the best in any field. The elite athletes, the top entrepreneurs, the high achievers. They all have one thing in common: an obsession with growth, a relentless refusal to settle, a mindset that says, I will not accept average. I will not tolerate mediocrity. I will push myself harder than anyone else ever could. This is what separates the winners from the rest. Most people do the bare minimum. They do what's required and nothing more. They look for shortcuts, easy routes, ways to get by with as little effort as possible. Winners operate differently. They don't ask, what's the least I can do? They ask, how far can I go? They stay longer. They train harder. They study more. They put in the extra reps, the extra hours, the extra effort when nobody's watching. Not because they have to, but because they refuse not to. This is why the best seem almost superhuman. They're not. They've just conditioned themselves to expect more from themselves than anyone else ever will. Most people rely on external pressure to perform, a deadline, a coach pushing them, a boss watching over their shoulder. They need accountability to take action, but winners, they are self-driven. They create their own pressure. They don't need someone watching them. They watch themselves. They don't need a deadline to push them. They push themselves every single day. They don't wait until it's convenient. They don't wait for motivation. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They show up no matter what because their standard is excellence, always. And that's what makes them different. Most people stop when they're tired. Winners stop when they're done. Most people quit when it gets hard. Winners push through. Most people aim to be good. Winners aim to be unstoppable. This is why you see people at the top of their game working harder than those still trying to make it. The billionaire still grinding, the champion still training like they're broke, because they understand something most people don't. Once you lower your standards, you lose. The moment you allow yourself to slack, you fall behind. This is why they don't let themselves off the hook. They don't allow excuses. They don't justify laziness. They know that success is a daily decision, a habit, a way of living, not something you do when you feel like it. The world doesn't demand greatness from you. It doesn't require you to be exceptional. It's perfectly fine letting you be average, which is why you have to be the one who demands more. You have to set the standard. You have to decide what you are willing to tolerate from yourself. Because here's the truth. Your results in life will never exceed your standards. If you accept mediocrity from yourself, that's exactly what you'll get. But if you hold yourself to the highest level, if you refuse to let yourself settle for anything less than greatness, you will rise to meet that standard. It's not about talent. It's not about resources. It's about what you demand from yourself every single day. Success comes from outworking, outlasting, and outgrowing. Most people say they want success, but they're not willing to do what it actually takes. They work hard for a little while, and when results don't come fast enough, they slow down. They expect overnight success, and when it doesn't happen, they quit. But winners understand the truth. Success isn't about being the smartest, the most talented, or the most gifted. It's about who is willing to go harder, longer, and further than everyone else. Outworking means showing up when others don't. It means putting in the extra hours, doing the extra reps, and refining your craft when nobody's watching. It means sacrificing comfort for progress, choosing discipline over distraction, and doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. Most people work hard until it gets uncomfortable. Winners push through discomfort until it becomes their new normal. Outlasting is about endurance. It's about playing the long game. Most people start strong, but few have the stamina to keep going when motivation fades. Success isn't about how fast you go, it's about how long you're willing to stay in the game. The ones who make it to the top aren't always the most talented, but they are the most relentless. They keep going when others give up. They take the hits, the failures, the setbacks, and still move forward. They don't let temporary obstacles derail them because they know that consistency beats intensity every time. Outgrowing is about constantly leveling up. You don't get what you want in life. You get what you're prepared for. If you're not evolving, you're falling behind. The best don't stay the best by doing what they've always done. They adapt, they learn, they seek new challenges. They refuse to be the same person they were a year ago, a month ago, even a week ago. Growth is the difference between those who stagnate and those who dominate. Most people never reach their potential because they stay in their comfort zone. They do just enough to get by, but never enough to truly excel. Winners don't settle. They push past limits. They seek discomfort. They embrace challenges because they know growth only happens when you go beyond what you think you're capable of. Success is not about luck or natural ability. It's about who is willing to keep moving forward when everyone else has stopped. Become so valuable that people have no choice but to notice. Most people want attention, recognition, and success, but they aren't willing to become the kind of person who deserves it. They spend time trying to be noticed instead of putting in the work to be undeniable. The truth is, the world doesn't reward effort. It rewards value. If you want people to notice you, respect you, and pay you, you have to become so damn good that they can't ignore you. Value is what separates those who struggle from those who thrive. If you want better opportunities, you need to increase your worth. Too many people complain that they're overlooked, underpaid, or undervalued, but they never ask themselves if they've actually earned more. The market doesn't care about your feelings, it cares about what you bring to the table. Becoming valuable starts with mastering your craft. The best aren't lucky, they're obsessed. They put in the extra hours, they refine their skills, and they study relentlessly. They don't settle for being good enough, they aim to be world class. They become so skilled, so knowledgeable, and so effective that people have no choice but to pay attention. Most people seek shortcuts. They want the rewards without the sacrifice. They want recognition without the grind. But winners don't chase attention, they earn it. They focus on being so exceptional that people come to them. They don't have to beg for opportunities because their results speak for themselves. When you become truly valuable, everything changes. People respect you, seek you out, and pay you what you're worth. You don't have to chase validation because your work demands respect. You don't have to worry about competition because you outclass everyone around you. You don't have to force people to notice you because when you operate at the highest level, they can't afford not to. Stop waiting. Take massive action and make them care. Most people spend their entire lives waiting for the right time, waiting for the perfect conditions, waiting until they feel ready. But waiting is just another form of fear. It's an excuse wrapped in logic. The truth is, there is no perfect time. There is no ideal moment. The people who win in life aren't the ones who wait. They are the ones who take action long before they feel ready, long before the circumstances are perfect, long before anyone believes in them. They don't wait for permission. They don't wait for signs. They don't wait for confidence. They take action, and that action creates the momentum they need to succeed. Most people think they need motivation to start, but they have it backward. Action comes first, and motivation follows. You don't feel ready before you start. You feel ready once you've started moving. Clarity doesn't come from thinking, it comes from doing. You can sit around planning, strategizing, overanalyzing, but nothing happens until you move. Winners don't wait to feel inspired, they act, and that action fuels their drive. This is why so many people stay stuck. They believe the lie that they need to have it all figured out before they start. They wait for the stars to align, for everything to make sense, for the fear to go away. But the fear never goes away. The doubt never disappears. The uncertainty never fully leaves. The only way to overcome it is to move forward anyway. Action kills fear. The more you do, the less power fear has over you. Most people don't take action because they are afraid of failing. But failure is part of the process. You don't become great by avoiding mistakes. You become great by learning from them. Every successful person has failed more times than the average person has even tried. They don't see failure as the end. They see it as feedback. They understand that every mistake, every setback, every misstep is a lesson. The only true failure is quitting. Everything else is just part of the journey. Another reason people hesitate is because they worry about what others will think. They fear judgment, criticism, looking foolish. But here's the truth. Most people aren't paying attention. They're too busy worrying about themselves. And the ones who do judge, they aren't doing anything significant with their own lives. The people who criticize the most are the ones who are sitting on the sidelines. The people actually in the game don't have time to tear others down. They're too busy building something of their own. The biggest regret people have isn't failing. It's never trying in the first place. It's looking back and realizing they let fear stop them. It's knowing they had ideas, dreams, potential, but they never acted on them. Time moves fast. Opportunities don't wait. The longer you hesitate, the harder it gets to start. The longer you delay, the more likely you are to talk yourself out of it. Winners understand this. They don't let hesitation take over. They feel the fear, the doubt, the uncertainty, and they take action anyway. They know that even small steps forward are better than standing still, because when you take action, things start happening. Doors open, momentum builds, opportunities appear. But none of that happens if you don't move. If you want people to care about what you're doing, make them care. You don't get noticed by talking. You don't get respect by asking for it. You get noticed by showing up, by doing the work, by proving yourself through action. Most people spend too much time trying to convince people with words. Winners convince people with results. They don't beg for attention, they earn it. They don't wait for someone to validate them, they validate themselves by taking action and delivering. There will always be people who doubt you, people who don't believe in you, people who don't see your vision. That's fine. It's not their job to believe in you. It's your job to make them believe. And you do that by executing at such a high level that they have no choice but to pay attention. Not by talking, not by waiting for approval, but by taking relentless, consistent action. Action creates opportunity. Action builds confidence. Action separates those who dream from those who achieve. You don't need more time, more resources, or more motivation. You just need to start. You just need to move. And when you do, everything changes. Listen, nobody cares if you succeed, and that should light a fire inside you. Nobody is going to do it for you. Nobody is going to hand you the life you want. You have to take it. You have to outwork, outlast, and outgrow everyone around you. You have to stop waiting for the right moment and start creating it. If you want to win, you need to be so valuable, so disciplined, and so relentless that people have no choice but to notice. You don't get respect by asking for it. You earn it by taking action. The people who doubt you, they don't matter. The people who criticize, let them talk. You'll be too busy winning. This is your wake-up call. Stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Take massive action and make them care. If this fired you up, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This is Tony Robbins Track. See you at the top.